The Indian government is really getting a lot of pushback, and these #SaveAravalli protests are blowing up. This all started after the Union Environment Ministry dropped an announcement on December 21, 2025, revealing a new, Supreme Court-approved plan for the Aravalli Hills. This official document, titled Aravalli Hills, Protecting Ecology and Ensuring Sustainable Development, is meant to guide future mining and land use decisions across this super old mountain range. But environmental groups and local folks were quick to slam this new definition, calling it a potential death warrant for the Aravallis, which are a critical green buffer for Delhi NCR. Naturally, protests are now heating up all over Rajasthan, Haryana, and the National Capital Region. And get this, the Congress Party has even hinted they're planning mega protests throughout Rajasthan, completely politicizing what began as an environmental and legal debate. So, when you combine this new Supreme Court-backed framework, a super controversial redefinition, and all these coordinated street protests, it's really sparked a huge national discussion about the Aravalli mining and environmental crisis. Critics are arguing that despite the government claiming they're boosting protection, this redefinition might actually just open the floodgates for even more mining and real estate projects, further messing up one of the planet's oldest mountain systems. So, right at the heart of this unfolding crisis, we've got a few key players involved. First up, the Union Environment Ministry. That's essentially the Indian government. They're the ones who rolled out this new Aravalli framework, and they're really standing by it. They're pitching it as a move to stop illegal mining and, protect the environment. Now, the Supreme Court of India actually gave the green light to a plan that, the government claims, puts a freeze on any new mining licenses in the Aravallis until they get a full, proper management plan sorted out. But here's the thing. A whole bunch of environmental groups, including climate and forest activists, along with local community collectives, they're just not buying this official story. Rajendra Singh, who's a really prominent hydrologist, is one of the big names sounding the alarm. He's saying these government changes basically legitimize sustainable mining, which, let's be honest, could still cause major ecological damage. We're talking new roads, blasting, and massive open pits right in critical wildlife corridors. And naturally, opposition parties, especially the Congress, have totally jumped on this issue. They're using every public platform they can to question the center's real motives behind redefining the Aravalli range, and they're mobilizing huge protests all across Rajasthan. So, the government is saying these new rules they've approved will really ramp up protection. They claim the new definition for the Aravalli Hills means over 90% of the area will now be protected. They're pitching this as a proactive move, designed to crack down on illegal mining. But hold on, critics see things totally differently. They're arguing that what the government calls sustainable mining, under these new rules could still mess up the environment big time. We're talking about building roads, massive blasting, and even open pits in places that are super sensitive ecologically, and crucial for wildlife. And Rajendra Singh, a well-known hydrologist, is sounding the alarm. He's warning that if these new definitions actually go through, only a tiny 7 to 8% of the Aravallis might actually make it. He says the way they're deciding what counts as protected could actually leave out huge areas that are already totally messed up by mining and construction in the past. And there's some history to back this up, too. A 2018 report from a Supreme Court-appointed committee, the Central Empowered Committee, found that almost a quarter of Rajasthan's Aravallis had already been destroyed, mostly because of mining. Alright, so let's talk about the Aravalli range. It's this super old and massive mountain system, stretching about 700 kilometers across 4 Indian states: Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi, and Gujarat. And this massive ecological corridor plays a huge role, especially for the Delhi NCR region. Think of it as their last big green buffer, seriously. Now, these current protests? They've really pinpointed a few key hotspots. In Haryana, places like Gurugram and Faridabad have become these urban frontlines. Folks there are really feeling the direct hit from the Aravallis getting degraded. It's messing with their air quality and kicking up tons of dust storms. Meanwhile, over in Rajasthan, you've got cities like Jaipur and Alwar. These areas have a long history of stone and marble mining right in the Aravallis, and now, they're slated to be major spots for the Congress Party's planned mega protests. Activists, by the way, are all over citing this 2018 Central Empowered Committee report. That report basically highlighted the massive destruction the Aravallis have already suffered. Their point? Any remapping or loosening of environmental rules now would just totally deplete an ecosystem that's already super fragile and severely messed up. So, this whole Aravalli definition mess? It's not just a standalone thing. It actually connects with a bunch of other big environmental issues happening across the country. We're talking about those ongoing fights over mining in protected areas all over India, and how effective the Supreme Court's orders on Aravalli mining really are. People are really keeping a close eye on the Aravalli situation, especially with all the recent changes to laws and procedures. I'm talking specifically about the tweaks to how environmental impact assessments, or EIAs, are done. Critics are saying these changes have basically made it way easier to get approval for projects in places that are super important ecologically. And get this, the Forest Conservation Act amendment from 2023 also plays into this. That amendment actually redefined what counts as a forest, and changed up how you get clearance to use forest land. Naturally, that's really amped up worries that our environmental protections are getting watered down. Now, for environmental activists, this new Aravalli definition just looks like it's part of a bigger scheme. They see it as a way to relabel ecological zones to make it easier for things like mining and big infrastructure projects to go through. And this isn't just happening in isolation. It's a lot like other big, well-known fights we've seen. Remember the Great Nicobar Project? Or the Hasdeo errant coal mining protests? The Vedanta's Sijamali bauxite mine controversy? Or even those mining issues in the Dihing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary? It's all connected.